Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing a video that I have really enjoyed doing every year for the past couple of years, and that is going to be me going through every single book that is currently on my physical TBR. It has been a mission of mine over the last couple of years to try to get my physical TBR under control. I feel like I'm getting better and better as the years go on. Am I where I want to be yet? I don't know. We're gonna find out. But I feel like I've been doing a good job at prioritizing some books on my physical TBR, as well as not buying more books in general this year. So I'm just really interested to go through my shelves and see how many I have now. I just love doing this around the midpoint of the year so I can kind of check in with myself, see how things are going, and really stay organized with my physical TBR as we are moving into the latter half of the year. But another way that I actually like to stay organized and on top of my stuff is with the sponsor of today's video, who is Scrintal. I have worked with Scrintal before and I do really enjoy their app, so thank you again so much to Scrintal for sponsoring this video and supporting me and my channel. But if you guys don't know what Scrintal is, it is basically a visual planning app where you can organize things like documents, photos, links, and basically anything else you may need to on this whole infinite canvas. I love the freedom and versatility that this offers. I feel like everything in Scrintal is super customizable, so I can have it exactly how I want it to work best for my workflow. Scrintal really is the playground for the mind, so it is perfect for brainstorming, organizing your thoughts, making sense of complex information in a way that works best for you. Also, something that I really appreciate about it is that it is very aesthetically pleasing. I feel like when my workspace looks nice, I'm more motivated to jump in and get going on things. It's also just really easy to get started with Scrintal in general because they have a bunch of templates as well as an AI assistant which can really help you to refine your ideas. Something I really like to use Scrintal for is video planning. I feel like it is the perfect way for me to kind of lay out what videos I'm thinking about doing, what books I may want to read for those videos, or I can just kind of link any relevant information that I may need when I'm planning or filming that video. You can also color code the cards that you're putting all this information on, which I'm still incredibly entertained by, but it's also just really useful for organizing things. I also really like that I can put things like pictures on the infinite canvas, so if I have a certain TBR for a video, I can kind of put the book covers on there so I have a good like visual representation of what I'm wanting to do. So if any of that sounds like something you could be interested in, or if you have a lot of organizing and planning that you need to do, I do have a discount code from Scrintal for you guys. You can use the code Katie50 to get 50% off. So thank you again so much to Scrintal for sponsoring this video and supporting me and my channel, and thanks to you guys as well who are watching this video, as always, for supporting me and my channel. Your support truly means the absolute world to me, and I could not do this if it were not for you guys, so thank you again so much. But with that, we can go ahead and get on into the video. I'm going to be doing this the same way that I've done the last two, so we're gonna stand up, we're gonna go over to my shelves, I'm going to pull all of the books off of my shelves, and we're just gonna have a little bit of a look at my physical TBR today, so let us go. Alright, so we're gonna start over here. First we have like my little sci-fi shelf kind of thing. I've read a lot of these, but not all of them. So I think it's these three right here that I have not gotten to. I feel like maybe I could do like a little sci-fi vlog situation where I read these. That could be kind of fun. I don't know. I feel like I've had these two books in my TBR for so long, but I refuse to get rid of them because I want to read them at some point. So we have The Left Hand of Darkness by Ursula K. Le Guin. This is like a sci-fi classic kind of thing, and I want to read it because it sounds interesting. And then we also have The Moon Day Letters, which has been on many a TBR. It's shown up in all of these videos that I've done so far. And again, I refuse to get rid of it because I know I want to read it. I can just never get myself to read it. So maybe I should just do a video of like reading books I'm putting off, which I think the TBR might be too big if I try and do that kind of video. But then we also have a Murderbot book. I've not read System Collapse yet because I have not read Network Effect yet. So I want to catch up with Murderbot this year, hopefully. I feel like December is kind of giving me sci-fi vibes. I don't know, something about it. Then as for this shelf, I think I've read all of the ones on this side, but I've not read all of the ones on this side. I do have, I'm not counting these in my physical TBR because they're not exactly books that I bought with the, this is gonna sound stupid, but like with the express purpose of reading them. But we have two Buffy the Vampire Slayer books. I found these at the thrift store, earlier this year? And I kind of just bought them because I was in a big Buffy kick. Am I gonna read them? I don't know. They're not exactly books that I'm prioritizing at the moment. So I'm not counting these in my physical TBR, and seeing as this is my video, I'm gonna do what I want. But I do have a bunch of Discworld books that I haven't read because I suck, so it's literally all of these. But like guys, I really can't, I talk about the little Corgi mass market paperbacks all the time, but I couldn't pass them up. I had to get the little lot of them. One of these days, I'll actually read Discworld. I love it, but like, I don't know, I can just never get myself to prioritize reading them, so we have 6, unfortunately. And then the shelf below, I have read all of these books because this is like my infernal devices adjacent shelf. So I have like the manga, I have Ghost of the Shadow Market, I have special editions, whatever. Obviously, I've read all of those. Moving on down, right here I have my just like Fairy Loot, Divine Rivals kind of shrine, basically. I feel like the candle really adds to the shrine vibe that's going on this shelf. Obviously, I've read both of those. And then I have just like some high fantasy whatever things going on here. So I have not read The Wheel of Time yet. Again, I'd like to read this year. If that'll happen, who knows, but that is certainly a book that's on my TBR. And then under that, I have my little like graphic novel kind of shelf thing. So I think the only thing that I am considering on my physical TBR that I haven't read is the Little My Neighbor Totoro book. That is just like a little novelization of the movie. It's so cute. Like, why have I not read this? I don't know. I'll have to prioritize it at some point in time because I kind of just keep forgetting that I have it. It's also got little illustrations in it. It's so cute. Are there more? Oh my god, there are more. These are stunning. How have I never like noticed that? Like, look, a little Totoro and the cat buzz. This is so cute. See, that's why this video is good. I'm getting the stuff that I haven't read off of my shelf and I'm like looking through it. I'm getting excited about it again. There's that. But I think the rest of these I'm considering this good. I feel like, I don't know, books like this, some of them are like on my physical TBR and some of them aren't because they're not books that I bought expressly to like read all of them at once, you know? So we're gonna leave that how it is. Moving back to this shelf, I feel like so far it's going pretty well. I think I have maybe like 11 books from this skinny shelf right here, so that's so far so good. But let's take a look at this shelf. So I've read all my Victoria Schwab books. I've read all of these. Yes, yes, yes. I think the only one I haven't read is The Lost World by Michael Crichton. And like, honestly, based on some of the things you guys have told me, I don't know if I'm gonna read this book. I've just heard that like it's really not as good. And I've seen all of the sequel movies, so I'm like, do I care enough to actually read the book? I'd rather read some of Michael Crichton's other books because they sound kind of interesting, so I might give this book back to my dad, therefore taking this off of my physical TBR. So there's my little unhaul book. We're just not gonna think about that. But top shelf is now completely read. Moving on to this shelf, I know I have some books on here that I have not read, such as, what's this book called? The Spear Cuts Through Water by Simon Jimenez. I've heard great things about this. I'd really like to read it soon. I don't want to talk about it. Spinning Silver, still my TBR. Will I read this when it gets wintry? Maybe. Like, both of these books I keep saving for a wintry kind of situation, and then I keep not doing it. So hopefully one of these days, obviously I'm gonna hang on to that. I have this really stunning edition of The Wolf and the Woodsman, so maybe I'll read this soon. This one I am for sure gonna read soon. I do have a copy of The Night and the Moth by Rachel Gillig. This is my July Patreon buddy read, so I will obviously be reading this soon, and I'm very excited about it. I'm so interested to see what I think of it. I also do have Sunrise, whoops, come here, Sunrise on the Reaping. I think this is the last book on the shelf that I haven't read. Yeah, we have Sunrise on the Reaping. Also gonna be reading this one soon for a video that I'm doing for my Patreon this month. So, too many books. 6 books? 6 books off that shelf. And then onto one of my favorite shelves. This is like such a stunning shelf, honestly. If I do say so myself. Just tooting my own horn, I'm sorry. But there are indeed some books that I haven't read. I'm planning to finish up the Daughter of Smoke and Bone series this year, hopefully. Want to read Electra soon. This is kind of a recent acquisition that I would like to read. And I still have not read any more of the Skyward series. I have both Cytonic and Defiant left to read. I'm planning on reading them at some point, so it's not like I'm gonna get rid of them, but like they're not high priority books at the moment. So we have 4. That's not too bad. Moving on down even further, I just have some Summerween decorations up, so we're just gonna take this as an opportunity to take those down. But I believe I've read every single book on this shelf. This is like my muted toned YA shelf, basically. But I know I have some books I haven't read on this shelf. Actually, you know, not that many. I think it's just the one. Guys, I think this is going well. Because the only book I think that I haven't read on this shelf is the Dungeon Anarchist Cookbook, which I just got recently. And then on this bottom shelf here, I do have a few, that's for sure. I have not yet read A Witch's Guide to Magical Innkeeping, but I'm going to be starting this very soon. I have yet to read The Once and Future Witches, but this is a book that I'm planning on reading this fall. I do have The Rhythmatist by Brandon Sanderson that I would like to read at some point. Oh my god, this is actually so floppy. For a UK paperback. Good on them for fixing the binding on this book at least. It's so, look at this. Wow. But I've heard good things about this one, so I'm very excited about it. And then I also have not read Malice, because will I ever buy a high fantasy book and actually read it in a timely manner? That's right, the answer's no. So, 4 books on this shelf. Not too terrible. Moving back up, I have obviously read all of my Veronica Speedboat books. Also, can we talk for a moment here? Can we talk about the fact that the title for the 10th one was announced and it's called A Ghastly Catastrophe? Isn't that like, I'm obsessed with that title. So obsessed with it. I cannot wait to see the cover of it. I'm so excited for the 10th book. It comes out next March. So excited. So excited. Then here, I think the only book that I haven't read on this shelf is Anne of the Island. Look at her. Stunning and beautiful. I kind of want to read this one in the fall. I don't think the book actually has fall vibes, but the cover, obviously, is major fall vibes. Then I also have my Dark Academia shelf, which I've again read all of the books on, so pretty happy about that. All right, moving on down. I have this shelf. I have my Emily Wilde books, but I do have 3 books on this shelf that I haven't read. Because I said, one of these days, I know I've said this so many times, one of these days I'm gonna get back into the Farseer trilogy. I need to reread the first one because it's been way too long since I read the first one. But I do have Royal Assassin. I do have Assassin's Quest. I mean, look how freaking thick this book is. And then I have the first book of the Lifeship Trader series, which I'm so excited about. So I just need to get over my fear of big books, honestly. I feel like I should do a vlog where I read big books. That could be fun. Am I actually gonna do that? I don't know, but I'll sit here and talk about it all day. Then I have Yona of the Dawn, Heartstopper, graphic novel-y things, and then down here I have a bunch of Greek lit stuff, which I have read. So, 3 out of the 4 shelves done. It's not looking atrocious yet, so hopefully this energy continues. All right, I am standing on my chair for this, so hopefully I don't break anything. Also, this is... How do we fix this? We'll just casually ignore that. That looks like that. Also, speaking of this wall of book pages, last month we had a cable guy come out to our house and he was like going through like the rooms to check the internet connection in them or whatever. And he walked into my room and he was like, oh, you have a book all over your wall. I was like, I was like, man, he probably thinks I'm a loser. Not that he'd be wrong, but anyway, spooky bookshelves, these top 2 right here. What have I not read? Obviously I have not read my Agatha Christie books because I suck. Hopefully I'll read these this year. I don't know. I also have the Vampire Lestat, still very much interested in continuing the Vampire Chronicles. What else? Mina and the Slayers, still want to read it. Still haven't. And I think that's it. I think I've read the rest of these. Actually, that's not too bad. Only 4. And then on my, like, actual vampire shelf, I've not read Slaying the Vampire Conqueror. Me and Carissa Broadbent is, yeah, it's Carissa Broadbent. Me and Miss Carissa Broadbent have an interesting relationship. We'll see if I get to this one. Still have not read The Clackety. I started it, never finished it. Mina and the Undead, still again want to read this. I also started this one, and I didn't finish it, but it was fun, so I want to read it sometime. Oh no, I also have not read these 2. So I've not finished Trick or Treat: A History of Halloween. Again, I'm hopefully gonna read some this October. Have not read From the Dust Returned. Will I ever? I don't know. But I think that's it. This shelf definitely did yield a lot of unread books. So then we can move on to my Shelf of Shame, which is my classic shelf, as it always is. Yeah, there are quite a few in here that I haven't read. Whoops. Anne of Avonlea, gonna read it soon. Wuthering Heights, have not read. Hound of the Baskervilles, have not read. I still need to get rid of this damn book. I am not reading A Tale of Two Cities. So we'll put that on the unhaul pile. I think I said I was gonna do that last year and I did not, but I'm actually doing it because I'm not reading that book. Obviously Wuthering Heights and Jane Eyre, have not read. The Turn of the Screw, have not read. And I just have another copy of The Hound of the Baskervilles, so I'm not gonna get that one out. Have not read Anna Karenina. I started it, didn't finish it. The Bloody Chamber, no. The Bell Jar, no. Letters from Father Christmas, no. These 2, both of these, no. God, this is really gonna tank my numbers. I was doing well. I really was, but then I got to this shelf. And then just because I don't want to reposition my camera, the shelf under this is kind of just like an assortment of random books. So I've not read Air. I'm hoping to do that. I don't know, it's kind of giving me December vibes. The Book That Wouldn't Burn. Am I gonna read this book? Actually? Like, for real? I don't know. And I feel like that's it. Better than the last shelf, at least. All right, so I have absolutely no motivation to move my chair so I can show you guys like the final shelf that I have down there. But I only have these 2 books on it, so I have Uprooted, also by Naomi Novik. One of these days, I will read either of my Naomi Novik books. And then I also have the Spirit collection of Thorn Hall. So, Gothic fantasy. That sounds good. Benefits of this video. I'm remembering all the books on my physical TBR now. So I think what I want to do is I want to organize these by kind of priority level. I'm gonna like take a picture of it so I can like remember them. Some of these are more of like an I'll get to them when I get to them kind of thing, but I do have like immediate reading plans for a lot of these books, so I thought I could show you those, organize them. So yeah, I'm gonna do that I'll get back to you. All right, I am now in my favorite spot, which is obviously surrounded by my incredibly tall stacks of books. But I've gone through, I have kind of organized things, I've counted things, and we have some concluding thoughts and feelings to go through. So I counted every single unread book on my physical TBR, and honestly, drumroll please. It's only, that was a terrible drumroll. It was only 53 books. I'm so close to being under 50. One of my goals, like for the last couple of years, has been to get my physical TBR under 50 books. And the fact that I'm at 53 now, I'm actually like so proud of myself. Again, maybe you have like 2 books on your physical TBR. If so, truly could not be me. I don't want to have like 0 books on my physical TBR, but I want to have a manageable amount. And I feel like I'm in the almost manageable zone. Also, while I was going through these books, I did kind of pick out a couple more books that I wanted to unhaul, so I thought I could share those as well. So as I said, I'm giving The Lost World back to my dad in this one. I'm just not gonna read A Tale of Two Cities. It's just like, it's not for me right now. But I've also decided I'm gonna be unhauling The Bloody Chamber by Angela Carter. I've had this book for 3 years now, maybe. Never once thought about picking it up. And it's a nice edition, so I will be passing that on. And then I think I'm also gonna be getting rid of The Book That Wouldn't Burn by Mark Lawrence. Again, I've had this book for like a while now, and I've never once really felt the urge to pick it up. I think I read like the first chapter last year, and I just wasn't exactly loving it. So I think if I ever do want to revisit this book, I will borrow it from the library, but for now I'm going to be passing this one along. So if you guys want either of these, I'll put them on my Pango, but yeah, I think I'm gonna call it quits on those for now. But the rest of these I'm obviously still very excited about, and I do still have reading plans for them. So let me tell you about kind of the priority levels that I have split these into. So I have my very immediate TBR, like these are books that I'm planning and most likely going to be reading within the next month. So this is kind of a combo of my July and August TBR. I definitely have like firm plans to read these soon. And then I also have some like more fall-ish TBR kind of books. Seeing as this is a little bit further out, I may or may not be getting to these in the fall, but like ideally I would like to read these over the fall months. Then I also have my before the end of the year books, which are just obviously books that I want to read before the end of the year. And then literally the rest of these books are just like when I get to them, I will get to them kind of books. They're books that I don't want to get rid of because I bought them obviously for a reason. I would like to read them, but when that happens, I don't know. And the best part about books is that they don't expire. So theoretically, I could have these books for like years and never read them, but I do have plans to read them eventually. So that's kind of, you know, the wrap up on my physical TBR video. As I said, I just like to do one of these every year to kind of keep myself on track, and I hope it's maybe kind of interesting for you too. I do like being able to share with you guys the status of some books that are on my physical TBR. So like if you've been waiting for me to read, where is it? Anna Karenina, you might be waiting a while. But if you want to see me read like The Witch's Guide to Magical Innkeeping, just wait until like next week. So yeah, I'm very excited about kind of where things are with my physical TBR. I feel like I've done a pretty good job at cutting it down. So that is everything that I have for you guys in this video. I hope you enjoyed going through this with me. Obviously, I would love to know, do you guys have any TBR veterans that you've been putting off like I have? Please tell me you have some, make me feel better about this. Also, before we go, I would like to thank Scrintal again so much for sponsoring this video and supporting my channel. Don't forget, you can use the code Katie50 to get 50% off. I would also like to thank everybody over on my Patreon. If you are ever looking for more content from me, that is always linked down below. We do some fun stuff. We do monthly buddy reads. We're gonna do a readathon in August. We do sprints, the whole shebang. It's a good time over there. But with that, I think I'm gonna go. I hope you're all having an amazing Monday or whatever day it is that you're watching this video, and I will see you all in my next one. Bye!